Hello, everybody, and welcome to From Chaos to Country. This is episode 14. Um, so, what I wanted to talk about today was, and actually, thank you everybody for watching my podcast. I've really enjoyed doing this, and I'll be, when you see this, if you're watching the video, not if you're listening on audio, but if you're watching the video. And actually, I'm trying to figure out how to get it on other platforms. It's a work in progress. I'm taking the time to learn how to, I don't know, be a one-man show, I guess. I've had to be a one-man show anyway, but I'm just saying, like, in an even bigger level, if that makes sense. I never went to college, so what I'm learning is on YouTube. And I know I can go back to college. I don't know how I feel about school. So, what I was trying to say was that you might be seeing some changes in the next few weeks. Well, probably after next week. Next week I have a very special guest coming on. My husband. So I say all that because we are going to be the school's going to be done. So we're heading into summer. And it's earlier than in LA, which is fine. It's still 9 weeks. And I plan on doing my podcast throughout then, but most likely it'll be at night, so I might have to get better lighting. Or I might just have to do it upstairs in our big bathroom. So I don't know how it's going to look. For this episode, though, I do want to talk about something. I know I've talked about relocating, and I've touched on this topic, but I've talked about getting out of the chaos and going to what I consider the country and our little forest. I mean, we saw a turtle yesterday, saw a turtle in the lake today. There's frogs. We saw a squirrel digging up our yard. We have deer and hawks and all that kind of stuff. And I realize that even if you relocate, you still have to deal with like your inner chaos. So, and I have a lot of tools because I go to Al-Anon. So it's not like it's not like I'm self-sabotaging. I'm not self-sabotaging relationships. I mean, I'm married, and a lot of you know that. I mean, I've been married now it'll be 9 years this year, so I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud that when Chris and I first got together, there was a lot of things going on in our personal lives, and we really showed up for each other. With that being said, I think y'all know what I'm going with. It's the career. I am a goddamn broken record with this. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do with my life? Like, I'm over myself. Like, look how many YouTube videos I'm gonna look up on how to manifest my dreams. Like, what? I mean, really. And look, I appreciate Dr. Joe Dispenza and Gary Vee, okay? I like them. I like listening to them. I don't think there's anything wrong with listening to uplifting YouTube videos and having all those resources. I'm just saying, like, look, I'm reading a book right now that's like, you are a badass. Like, how do I have to tattoo it to my forehead so I see it every time I look in the mirror? Like, just get it together, bro. And I'll say this. It's these self-discoveries, right? That I've had a lot of realizations, and what I heard in an Al-Anon meeting not too long ago was awareness and no action equals bullshit. So I really had a moment the other day where, if you've been keeping up with the things it is LA specific, but Netflix is a joke festival. And look, I'm in Georgia. I'm not in LA right now. Would it have been great to have my own Netflix as a joke show? Absolutely. But if I was in LA and I wasn't on any of the shows, I'd be pissed off. And I'm sitting here in Georgia, not on any of the shows, and I'm pissed off. So what, you're just gonna pick pissed? Like, it comes to a point where I have to say, hey, bro, this is the business you chose. So you either take it for what it is, adjust what you need to adjust, do a pivot here and there, there's a lot of aspects to this business people don't, I think, realize, because they only see, like, if you're famous, that means you made it. And for people, that they don't realize that there's so many other things to it. I've said this before. I know a lot of working comedians that are making great livings, and you might not know them, but they're really fucking funny. And now, that being said, so where does that leave me? Do I stay? Do I go? Where am I going to go? I don't know how to do medical billing. I mean, I'm sure I could learn, but I don't want to take on something that might screw up somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I could learn a skill, but I know I wouldn't be paying great attention to it because my heart's not in it. And I don't need to throw off somebody's entire well-being because I'm like, I don't know how to do it in entertainment. I know that I can, and that's the chaos, right? So you either stay in this perpetual chaotic attitude, or I could just change my attitude. Now, I know when I say that, people are like, it's not that easy. I know. It's been decades that I've been telling myself a story since probably 17, 18. I gotta prove this to this person. I gotta prove that. I gotta make my parents proud. I've gotta do all this stuff. But here's the thing. How do I feel about myself? Have I checked in with myself? I constantly look at my career, my 25 years in stand-up, and I'm like, well, this didn't happen or this didn't happen, and therefore it's all a failure? No. I got to meet a very cool comic this last weekend. I had a show on Friday. I worked with some great comics. They were a lot of fun. Crowd was okay. It was a combo of, they were, some of the crowd was fun. One of my New Georgia friends came out, which was awesome. But some of the crowd was a little tight. And then I let that bother me. So, was it my best work? No. I know what I can do on stage, and that wasn't it. Was it the worst work? No. I bombed so bad, I've left my body and watched myself bomb from above. So, no, it could have gone much worse. I'm just saying that the comics I connected with at that gig were phenomenal. And when we were talking about our careers, I'm like, I have had a great career. I have pitched shows. I have met people that have wanted to help me, and I've followed through, and it just maybe it just wasn't my path to be uber famous, because I probably would have crumbled. Like, everybody, I don't know if you all know this, but when they talk about Chappelle, I was hanging around the cellar at that time when he was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was a lot of pressure. He was like, what, 28, 29 when he got that $50 million deal? I've been given like $1,000 gig, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm worthy. You want me to put $50 million on my plate in my 20s? Oh yeah, I would have crapped my pants and probably had a meltdown. Maybe gone toward alcoholism. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm too Al-Anon-ic to be an alcoholic. I'm too judgy of myself sober to become an alcoholic. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're an Al-Anon, you know. And somebody told me once, alcoholics don't really sit there and wonder if I have this glass of wine on occasion. Am I an alcoholic? You know, like, there's a lot to it. Anyway, I know that there's a lot of ways that I can work my career, being with my kids. That's my main priorities. Like, we're gonna have a lot of adventures, and I want to give them a lot of experiences, and I want them, to want for nothing, but also know, that we have responsibilities. So that's what I'm gonna be working on this summer: adventures and building my business. So thanks for joining me. Bye.